A Defensive Player of the Year candidate will be available for the Commanders in free agency. Reports have confirmed that the team is moving on from one of its starters last year, and with 1 week to go until the free agency period begins, who are two of my top targets? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, and with how busy these last few days have been, today's video is going to be different from ones that you are used to. Normally, I sit down here and I tell you everything you missed from the day before. There's just too much information out there right now. I posted 3 times each of the last 2 days. Could honestly assume that something similar sort of trend would be occurring for the next week until free agency and probably the first week of free agency as well. So you guys, if you are subscribed, you are watching the videos here, you're going to get even more used to seeing my face because we're going to have a lot coming out here. So in this video, like I said, I can't begin to go over everything that happened yesterday because there's just so much. If you guys want to make sure that you are in tune with all of it, go check out the videos that I already posted. In this video, we are here to talk about the Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Mr. Trey Hendrickson, who will be heading to free agency. What happened there and should the Commanders show interest? Also, the team moving on from one of its starters last year as the special teams woes continue. And then, like I said, we will get to 2 of my top targets for this team in free agency. So guys, before we jump into this video, make sure that you have hit the like and the hype buttons if you are enjoying the content. Subscribe as well. Like I said, posted 3 times each of the last 2 days. It's going to be really chaotic and hectic. There's going to be so much. This guy's getting the tag. Actually, that can't happen because the tag window closed, but this guy's getting a tender. This guy's going to free agency. This guy was extended. This trade happened. There's going to be so much news out there, and I will be reporting on all of it to you guys. So hit that subscribe button if you have not already as we continue the climb to 5,000 subscribers. As always, throw your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you want to join the Full Command Discord, the link to do that will be at the top of the description of this video. So we're going to start off by talking about Trey Hendrickson, who, as I mentioned when I was stumbling through it just a moment ago, was not given the franchise tag by the Cincinnati Bengals, greenlighting him to head to free agency. There were 4 players who got the tag, and now that I'm saying this, I can't remember if it was 4 players who got the franchise tag or who just got tagged, period, which includes Daniel Jones and the transition tag. I know George Pickens got tagged, Kyle Pitts got tagged, Breece Hall got tagged, and then Daniel Jones, like I said, got tagged. Maybe there's a 4th guy who got the franchise tag, or maybe it's just the 4 guys who got tagged, period. But obviously, Trey Hendrickson was not one of those people. Now, he will be turning 32 in December, hitting the market at 31 years old. Had 4 sacks in 7 games last year after having 17.5 in each of the 2 seasons before that. He had some weird sort of core issue, ended up requiring surgery for it, which he got in December. He had the problem after he re-aggravated some sort of hip and pelvis problem. Some strange things going on back there, but a core muscle surgery is not the biggest deal in the world, and it happened in December. You're thinking he's going to be healthy heading into next year. However, as I mentioned, he will be 32 in December, and he is coming off of a down year after he was utterly dominant the 2 seasons before that. So the team that signs on to grab him is signing on a bit of a risk, an older player and someone who is coming off of a major injury. Now, according to SpotRack, his market value is about $25 million average annual value. I think he's probably going to want to get as close to $30 million as he can. And in the eyes of the Commanders, if I'm Adam Peters and I'm wearing my general manager hat, that's just too much. Yeah, I can say Trey Hendrickson is a very good pass rusher. I can wish him luck wherever he goes. But I don't know that I'll be willing to spend that significant of my cap on a player who will be 32, coming off of an injury. But whatever thoughts you guys have, make sure that you let me know in the comment section below. I actually posted something on my Twitter the other day, and I said you guys have 3 options, but you can only pick one. Who would you sign as your edge rusher? Trey Hendrickson, Boye Mafe, and David Bailey. And I thought that was an interesting thought experiment because you have Hendrickson, who is by far the most proven, looks like the best player. We can guarantee he's the best player right now. Maybe David Bailey beats him, but David Bailey's never put on an NFL uniform. So you have Hendrickson, who's the most proven, but also the oldest, coming off of an injury and the most expensive. You have Boye Mafe, who's solid, coming off of a Super Bowl. About the middle as far as pay goes, and also maybe the middle in production. You don't know how good he's actually going to be. You know he's solid, but how good of a job would he actually do as the full-time starter? And then you have David Bailey, who is a rookie, and looks like he has all the talent in the world, but has never played a snap in the NFL before. So I thought that was just a cool thought exercise. I do a lot of those over on my Twitter. You can see it up on the screen right now. So if you want to follow me there, then feel free to go check it out. The Commanders moving on from a starter last year. I mentioned that it had something to do with special teams. As we know, Tress Way was re-signed and Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey aren't going anywhere, which does mean that Jake Moody, the kicker who was signed to replace Matt Gay, a former third-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers just a few years ago, he will not be coming back to the Commanders next season. They are not going to tender him as a restricted free agent, according to reports, which means he will be an unrestricted free agent, and Washington needs to find another kicker. Next training camp, bring in 3-4 kickers. I don't care if it looks ridiculous. However many you need, have a massive kicking competition. Find the right guy. You cannot continue to go through a season where kicking beyond 50 yards basically is not an option. And even within 50 yards, even on extra points, you can't guarantee that your guy is going to make that kick. When you look around the NFL and you've got Cam Little kicking from 68 and Brandon Aubrey kicking from 66 and all these guys, 50-yard field goals are guarantees in the NFL. They're chip shots. If you were playing golf, you would just walk over and grab the ball without putting it in the cup because it's a guarantee. 60, 62, 63. That's where it starts to get difficult now. NFL kicking range has basically increased by 10 yards. So find someone by any means necessary. You just cannot continue to put that level of strain on your offense and your defense because they lose the battle of field position when you kick and you don't make it. So Jake Moody did play well for the Commanders last year. I'm not going to act as if he didn't. He was 10 of 11 on field goals, also 10 of 11 on extra points. Solid on the field goals for sure. 10 of 11 on extra points. It sounds like you're being nitpicky, but you should. That's low. I mean, that's what, 91% or so? Yeah, that's low. Jake Moody last year made 93.8% of his field goals, or extra points, excuse me, if you look across the stops with the Commanders, Bears, and 49ers, and that 93.8% was 32nd in the NFL. His season field goal percentage was also less than 83%, which ranked 30th. So might have done an okay job for the Commanders, but he didn't do a very good job last year. He hasn't been up to NFL standard in his career thus far. Now, what's very interesting about this whole Jake Moody conversation is that we don't have news about a CRod tender yet. He and Moody were both drafted in 2023. CRod is a restricted free agent, so the Commanders could give him that tender and bring him back on a one-year deal. There are a couple of reasons, really a few reasons why that might have news might not have broke on that yet. Maybe it's just lower on the priority list for the Commanders. Maybe they're still deciding, or maybe it's already decided and CRod is sticking around for another year. Don't know, but whatever the answer is, I'll be sure to share it when I have that news for you guys. Tyler Biadasz, speaking of former Commanders starters who will not be here next year, Tyler Biadasz, as we all know, was released about a week ago. He now has a visit scheduled to the Chicago Bears. Drew Dahlman unexpectedly retired for Chicago at 27 years old, their Pro Bowl center. So now they're in the market for a guy, and Tyler Biadasz has arranged a trip up to the Windy City, or up to Indiana. I guess I should get used to saying now. This does add a bit of hesitance when you revisit the Biadasz conversation, because David Blau is on record saying that he wants his offense to look like Ben Johnson's offense, and Tyler Biadasz is now going on a visit to Ben Johnson and talk about his offense. So maybe it wasn't a fit thing at all. Maybe the answer really just was they didn't think Tyler Biadasz played that well last year. They didn't have much confidence in him going into next year. As far as my confidence looking ahead, I don't know. It's not my job to break down film. What I did see last year was he was disappointing. He didn't play like a top half center. He didn't play up to his contract. Maybe the Bears are just more optimistic than the Commanders are. Who knows? But Biadasz potentially on his way to the Windy City. Before I get out of here, talking about two of my top free agent targets for the Commanders. I hate to be that guy and to plug my Twitter again, but it is on the screen right now. This side. Forgot it's mirrored when I'm recording. Plug my Twitter. It's on the screen right now. Basically, starting yesterday, I was like, it'd be a cool week-long build-up to free agency if I just posted who are my top targets for the Commanders in this free agency period. And then when I was sitting down to record this video, it occurred to me, why don't I just share this with you guys? So unfortunately, I can't share the clips from my first player because they are from TV broadcast and that gets my channel copyrighted. But the second player, I do believe I should be allowed to share clips. So I will show you that player because I use all 22 for the second player. But the first guy that I posted yesterday was none other than Jaylen Watson, the Kansas City Chiefs cornerback. 6'2", 197 pounds, 27 years old, had a 69.0 passer rating when targeted last year. Nice. 6 deflections, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, only a 5.8% missed tackle rate. Again, I can't share the clips in this video, but if you go to my Twitter, you will see he plays the run ultra aggressively, and he rips through wide receiver blocking, and he's capable of making open field tackles, which you love to see. He is currently projected to get an average annual value of $11 to $12 million on his contract. Now, one note on him here. I included him here because the reports are that the Commanders want to be aggressive in pursuing a top-level cornerback. Me personally, I don't think Mike Sainristil is going to be as good playing in the nickel as he would be outside. I think his future has to be outside. But the top free agent cornerbacks are mostly outside guys. So I don't know if they meant they're going to be aggressive in pursuing the top nickels, or maybe they think Mikey is going to be better at nickel. And this is just my evaluation, and I don't know as much as they do. So maybe they think Mikey will be fine at nickel, and they do need an outside guy. But I just took the report at its face value. They said one of the top free agent cornerbacks, and Jaylen Watson is one of those guys. So that was my day 1 pick. And then day 2, which of course is today. I'll be back with day 3 tomorrow, I promise. Day 2 was Chig Okonkwo. 6'3", 238 pounds. The Tennessee Titans tight end is only 26 years old. Last season, he had 56 receptions for 560 yards, 2 touchdowns, caught 71.4% of contested catches, and he has a projected average annual value of $8 or $9 million. Now, if they sign both of these guys, let's say hypothetically, that's $20 million, which is not nothing, but it's also not a ton when you think about the Commanders having $83 million in effective cap space. They would still have $63 million in cap to spend, which is plenty for a high-impact player, lots of role players, and plenty of depth across the board. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Might be back with more videos later today because things are just happening so quickly, and anytime something major and relevant happens, I'm going to be giving you guys videos on it. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you have not clicked that button already. Hit the like and the hype buttons if you enjoyed, and whatever thoughts you got, make sure you throw them down in the comment section below. Anyone who wants to join the Full Command Discord can find the link at the top of the description. But anyway, guys, I'm going to head on out of here. I appreciate y'all joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.